What's good, Commanders fans? This is your guy, the real Ed Oliver, man. It's been a long time since I've been live from my own channel. Shout out DB, but I will be going live a lot more, guys. I've transitioned from Locked On Wizards. I'm not doing it anymore right now. I've retired. I may be taking a Jordan year or Elena Deladon type of year, just a year off. Shout out to my guy Brandon. I may come back later in the future. We'll see, but right now I'm not doing Locked On, so I'm just strictly focusing on my own thing. I'm going to be doing Wizards content on my own channel, getting back to that, but I will be with Brandon doing Bleacher Report for the Wizards, doing Wizards coverage coming up in May when the lottery happens. But of course, right now it's just strictly about the draft. That's all we're focused on right now. I just haven't had a lot of time over the past couple of weeks, and DB says a live stream, question mark. So it's been about a year. I think the last time I did it was with my guys, my channel members, my elite channel member guys. Shout out to Kenny. Shout out to OG. Shout out to Warpath. Shout out to Oscar, all the guys. Brandon, of course. That was the last time that I was on live. I haven't been on live by myself in a long time. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. This is going to be a blast, man. I'm excited, man. This is a huge day tomorrow. This is like the biggest draft. And I'm not gonna say in a while, but this is a huge draft with a new regime, new ownership, new coach, Adam Peters. Obviously, we're getting a quarterback. We're not trading back. We're not doing any of that. Of course, the whole turmoil and drama over the top golf. I just didn't have a lot of time to talk about it. It was just a lot of foolishness, honestly. So I just didn't have time to really comment. I wanted to chime in on it, but I'll chime in on it now a little bit. I'll be live about 30 to 45 minutes. And then, of course, I'm going to try to go live tomorrow night. But I'm definitely going to make a couple regular videos tomorrow because I think we're going to trade up into the first round. That's the worst kept secret. Jordan Reed reported that. So I think we're going to trade up into the first round. Of course, we got to get a tackle. We got to get a tackle. Of course, we're going to get the quarterback with the second pick of the draft, but we got to get a tackle. We got to shore up this offensive line. Left tackle is a huge question mark with just Cornelius Lucas. And then right tackle Andrew Wiley, we got to get a tackle. So they're going to move up into this. They're going to move up into the first round. I just have a strong feeling they're going to do that. That's the worst kept secret. Shout out to CJ. Yo, what's up, man? It's funny YouTube name. What's up, man? What's going on, man? Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. We're going to shout out a couple of people in the chat before we get started. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights says, "Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hump day, man. It's Christmas. It's not Christmas Eve, but draft Eve. The draft is almost here, guys. What, less than 24 hours, man? I'm excited. I'm happy that all the speculation is almost over. All the talking, all the interviewing. Jayden Daniels did an interview today. He was doing the Special Olympics thing. Of course, they asked him. Then Diana Rossini came up with a report saying that he would prefer to play for Antonio Pierce, who coached him in college in his younger days, and then he preferred to play with Minnesota. So there's just been so much reports about that. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Of course, the Top Golf whole thing, the whole situation with that. With Jayden Daniels. So there's just been a lot of his agent and then the PR lady. So just so much stuff going on with Jayden Daniels. I'm a fan of the guy. I'm a big fan of his game. Like him a lot. I just got to take a quick drink here. But just a lot going on with that situation. So there's a lot of smoke and fire. A lot of stuff going on with that. Ray Black says, the real Edo. What's up, man? W41 Duvernay. What's going on, man? What's up, man? What quarterback we're watching the pick? So, I mean, yeah, we'll just cut to the chase right now, man. I already put it in the thumbnail. I think it's going to be Jayden Daniels. I really do. I think it's going to be him. Not just because John Keim said and a lot of beat reporters said. I just think I've had that feeling a while ago. I know Drake Maye. Everybody's talking about body language and the way he talks in interviews and whatnot. He's more excited to be here, and Jayden Daniels like more nonchalant. And then Drake Maye did a good job in Top Golf. He just sounds giddy and excited about Washington. But I just think Dan Quinn saying that Jayden Daniels is a game changer, and just looking at how, literally Jayden Daniels changed the game. He changes the game. I mean, Drake Maye is a good quarterback too. Like I'm fine with either one. I'm not picking a side for either one. I know there's a civil war and all that stuff going on between Commanders fans. I'm fine with either quarterback, but I do think Jayden Daniels is the more talented of the two. I think he's able to change a game. Like the snap of a finger can change a game because of his legs, because of the dual threat ability, because it's going to be tougher to game plan for a guy like that. A guy who can just on a 3rd and 10, he can scamper up the yards. He can scamper up the field for 45 yards. I mean, he can literally do that. on any given play, and that's scary for a defense. A guy who can literally do that, just RPO, pull the ball in, run like that. You think you got him wrapped up, but he can run like that. So it's scary for a defense. Like, and he can throw the ball downfield. Man, he throws a very catchable football. Throws the ball downfield accurately. So Jayden Daniels, man, he's gonna make guys better. He's gonna make Brian Robinson better. He's gonna make Eckler better. Just if you tailor the offense around his game, he's gonna make a lot of people better. He's going to make it really tough on defenses. And that's why I just think Jayden Daniels is the better of the two. And then Drake Maye, I mean, of course, you have the concerns about the long wind-up, the footwork, the NC State game, and the last 2 games of the season where he didn't look good, where there are some concerns. But he's super talented. Like, I'm not happy with either one, but I really feel like it's going to be Jayden Daniels. That's just been my gut before all the stuff came out. And all the stuff coming out, that definitely does make me second-guess a little bit. But I just think it's going to be Jayden Daniels. I just feel like they like what they see with that, how he can change the game and put pressure on the defense. Jesus says J316 said the Wizards pissed you off that much. Yeah, I mean, they've been bad for the past couple years, so it was just time. And like I said, I may get back into it a year later or something like that, but it's just time with things going on right now. I moved on from it right now. But I may go back next year. I may go back. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. There's always a possibility. You never know. Shout out to Kenny Man. That's my guy. Shout out to him. He's an elite channel member. Shout out to my guy. We definitely will be doing a stream very, very soon. We got to catch up and get back into it for sure. Doug H says, all right, Ed, what's up, man? What's going on, man? So my taco sock, he says, do you think Marcus Mariota should start? No, he should not start. He shouldn't be anywhere on the field next year. He's just if you're gonna play him, you have to play like the Naval Academy style, where you're just running the football, read option, triple option. It's 90% running the football. You saw what he did with the Falcons against us in that one game, and all he did was run, and that's really it. He threw the ball a couple times, and he actually had a couple good throws in that game, but if you're going to play Mariota, you have to have a system and tailor your offense to him running the football. He's wearing number 0. He's the first quarterback to wear number 0, something like that. I couldn't really care less. But yeah, he's a backup, man. He should not be touching the field at all. He should be holding the clipboard, giving good advice to Jayden or Drake Maye, whoever. And that really should just be his role. He's not a star in this league. He had like 1 or 2 good years, and he made the playoffs as a starter. He's the only quarterback in the history of the game to throw a touchdown pass to himself. That was against the Chiefs in a playoff game. And he looked good on a Sunday Night Football game as a backup coming in for Derek Carr with the Raiders. Like, he looked good coming in a pinch, running around, mobile, dual threat kind of guy. But as a starter, no. If he starts, we're going 3-14. 3-14, 4-13. You're going to be around that range. And the whole thing about him, giving up on the Falcons, kind of quitting and stuff like that. I'm not going to comment too much on that situation, but that's just kind of how it ended with the Falcons. And he got benched for Desmond Ridder, and you saw how that ended up. All right, KennyManDMV, yes sir, I am back. I'm back, and I'm ready for the draft. Of course, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of things going on for sure. Jesus says J316 says, won't you Rico? Rico, Rio, and Louis 2 broadcast the NFL draft together. So we won't be doing that together, but we probably will be doing like a reaction stream or something like that the week after. Probably like a couple of days after, maybe after like rookie minicamp or something like that. We'll react and see how that goes. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. They're all doing their own things. I'll be doing my own thing. I'll be doing my own content for sure. And yeah, we'll definitely get together for sure. We're definitely gonna get a lot of content creators are gonna be getting together for sure. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait. 20 years ago, we drafted Sean Taylor. Yeah, man. Shout out to Sean Taylor. Rest in peace, man. Legend, man. The scoop and score, the hits on Terrell Owens, the hit on the punter in the Pro Bowl. I mean, I can go on and on and on about Terrell Owens. Him scaring Ocho Cinco, him scaring Randy Moss. I mean, he had guys scared to go over the middle. Freddie Mitchell for the Eagles. He had guys doing alligator arms going over the middle. They knew they heard Sean Taylor's footsteps, and they knew what was going on. They didn't want any smoke. Doug H says, to be honest, I'll be surprised if Adam Peters trades back into the first to get a tackle. Multiple teams want to do that, so the price to do so will go up. And that's a good take, Doug. You may just have to wait until the second round. You may have to wait for a guy like Patrick Paul and Rosenberger from Washington and guys like that. And there's interest in Brandon Coleman. He had a top 30 visit. There's been smoke about him. The Commanders have big interest in him coming out of TCU. So there's big interest right there. So I can certainly see that. Maybe they just had to wait until the second round. They have 2 second-round picks. So, I mean, and they're not going to be as talented as the guys in the first round, but you got to coach them up. And that's kind of where I wanted them to be more aggressive in free agency. I thought they should have been a little bit more aggressive in free agency and getting a left tackle, but it's fine. The left tackle pool for free agency wasn't great, and they're just going to trust in the draft. So, I mean, they're really going to be relying on the second round left tackle or Cornelius Lucas blocking for Drake Maye or Jayden Daniels, which is not ideal, but we'll see how they coach these guys up. Patrick Paul, Roger Rosengarten out of Washington. I would love to see if they could trade up. I would certainly do it. Amarius Mims, if he's available in the first round, late first round. Jordan Morgan, there's some concerns about him, but I think he's talented. Excuse me. These allergies, they're getting to me a little bit. But yeah, there's some talent there, man. There's some talent there. Troy Fountain, I mean, there's a lot of guys that are talented. There's a lot of talented tackles in this draft for sure. So I would love for them to trade up into the first round. But like you said, the price tag and the price might be up. So I mean, they got 2 second-round picks. They got a couple of thirds. We got the ammunition, man. We have the ammunition, man. We got the stuff. If we want to move up, move back, like we got a lot of draft picks. We got a lot of draft picks to make moves. On the Warpath says top golf for life. I really disliked. I didn't like the idea of it. I'm not mad at it, but I really personally I would have preferred for everybody to do a one-on-one. And Jayden Daniels said that they all got one-on-one time. Drake Maye said they got one-on-one time, but I just personally didn't think it was necessary to do a group visit. That's just my take on it. Kind of like a speed dating, flavor of love kind of thing. I just think at this time and moment, you have the second pick of the draft. I just didn't think there was really necessary to have guys that are not going to play with each other in the future. Bo Nix, Michael Penix, guys that are second round projected picks, to have them around guys like Drake Maye and Jayden Daniels, who are going to be the second pick of the draft. I just thought that was kind of like, I'm not going to say a waste of time, but I thought it was unnecessary. And a lot of people compared it to Bill Belichick and the Patriots because he said that he did it. Adam Peters said that he did it with the Niners, and I think there's 2 totally different situations. Bill Belichick, when he was with the Patriots, he had a quarterback. He had Tom Brady for years and years and years. Adam Peters with the Niners, they were in a different situation. They were winning a lot. They didn't always have a franchise quarterback, but they were winning a lot. We're a team that's desperately looking, excuse me, and desperately trying to find a franchise quarterback. And I just think kind of doing that, I just didn't think. I personally would not have done that. Just me. I would have just had the personal meetings, but every player said it went fine. Obviously, I think Jayden Daniels wasn't a fan of it, and his agent wasn't a fan. I think he should have fired his agent after he put out that emoji. I think this is immature for him, for Ron Butler, whatever his name is, to put an emoji, to tweet, for one, to have Twitter fingers as an agent. One, you're supposed to be professional. And that Jayden Daniels PR person had to come out and make a statement. I just thought that was unprofessional. I think if I was Jayden, I would have fired Ron Butler. I thought it was unprofessional. But I don't know if he's trying to be his mouthpiece and voice how Jayden really felt about it. But the fact that we're even talking about this is a red flag. The fact that it's getting to this point, hearing this and that, Diana Rossini coming over report, Jeremy Fowler, this and that, coming out with he prefers Minnesota and the Raiders and stuff like that. It's a red flag. And it's kind of like, if you don't want to be here, then I'm like, why would I draft you? But it's you got to take the talent. And that's the thing, too, that concerns me. Like, does he really want to be here? And I'm not going to read too much into body language. You look at the interview today. You look at the Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp interview, and people are dissecting that, kind of over-analyzing that. But I'm not going to do that too much. But this is the kind of the analogy that I compare to Top Golf to. And I don't think Adam Peters, I'm going on a tangent here, but I don't think Adam Peters wanted to do Top Golf to see like who stood out in the room, like if who had the best personality, who had the best jokes, who had the best golf swing. Like if you're drafting somebody based on that, then I think it's a flawed system. If you're drafting somebody because they had the best golf swing and played the best, that's a terrible way to evaluate. I don't think Adam Peters was doing that, but you just kind of open yourself up to have people assuming that and thinking that. But and then my analogy, what I was thinking, like if one guy is not the biggest talker in the room, that's not going to make me just not draft him. There's so many guys who are not big talker in the league. Like Justin Herbert's a reserve kind of guy. He's not an eccentric kind of guy. So if he went on the visit, how would he interact with guys? Not saying he's standoffish, but excuse me, you look at the NBA too. Like Kawhi Leonard, he's standoffish. He's quiet. He's awkward at times. Like if he went on a visit, a Top Golf visit, are you going to say I'm not going to draft Kawhi Leonard because he was quiet and standoffish? Like I just think that's a flawed way to kind of look at it and do things. I know he wanted to see how they interact in different things, but that's just my take on it. I'm not going to have a group of guys and be like, hey, I want to draft a guy because they stood out more and they were leaders in the room or more funny or whatever. I just didn't agree with the Top Golf thing. That's just my take on it. I would not have done it that way. I would have did it the more traditional way. And I just think, having that more personal time one-on-one with a guy, especially when this is an important draft, I wouldn't have done Top Golf. I personally wouldn't have did it. Bobby Scarfo, shout out to Bobby Scarfo. That's my guy. I haven't talked to you in a little while. Kurt Wright says we should trade up into the first round. Yeah, I think so too. I said that. I talked about that. We need a tackle badly. We got to shore up this offensive line, man. We got to, because Wiley's on the right side. You got Lucas on the left. I do like Tyler Biotic. I think that's a great addition at center. And then at left guard, you got the guy from the Chiefs that we picked up. He hasn't played a lot of snaps. He hasn't started a lot of games, so he's a big question mark there, honestly. Right guard, you got Sam Cosmi. So the only guys that are super reliable is Tyler Biotic and Sam Cosmi. And Wiley stays healthy for the most part. He's just not talented enough. He's just not consistent enough. That's the only thing. So offensive line is certainly a question mark for sure that we have to shore up in the draft. DB, shout out for the donation. He said the commies name still sucks. Why change Redskins? Like I said, I'm not going to get too much into the name. We're going to focus on the draft tonight. But yes, the commies name, I don't mind it. I'm fine with it. I was on board for Red Wolves. It is what it is on that. I've kind of grown with it. I got a bunch of shirts now. I got the hat. I got the bucket hat. I got a bunch of Commanders. I got the flag behind me. I got so much Commanders gear stuff, so I've kind of moved on. I got a Washington football jacket on. It is what I've just moved on, and they're not going to change the name back to the Skins or whatever. So, it's tough. It's tough. Lonnie Thomas, shout out to you, man. What's up, man? He says, me too, I feel it's Jayden. I think it's Jayden too, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is Drake Maye. I said I'm fine with either one. I think they're both super talented. JJ McCarthy, I would prefer both those guys over JJ McCarthy. I really would. And JJ McCarthy's not a bad quarterback, just not a lot of sample size, to be honest. I mean, we've seen the guy play, but I don't want to call him a game manager because he showed up in big times. He's made a lot of third down conversions. Like they showed that because they like to run the ball a lot. First down, second down, run the ball with Blake Corum, and they put him in different situations. But a lot of the games, Michigan's just winning. Like they just have the better team. They have the better running game, better coaching. Like for the most part, they're dominating. So he's just been in a easy situation for the most part. There's games where he's barely thrown the football. And there's games where he's thrown 15 times. So I'm not going to make that against him. But if you compare him to guys who are just more talented, Drake Maye's just more talented. Jayden Daniels more talented. You've seen them have to put the team on their back and throw the ball for their teams to win, where you just don't see that a lot with JJ McCarthy. You see Blake Corum, them running the football. They're up by 10. They're up by 20. They're just dominating. So you just see a lot of games like that from Michigan where I just, JJ McCarthy, he just didn't show as many elite traits as Drake Maye or Jayden Daniels. So I just can't do it. And I think a lot, JJ McCarthy, like he was hyped up a little bit before the draft, but at the pro day hyped him up, the combine, like a lot of hype came from JJ McCarthy like recently. A lot of recent hype has really come up for JJ McCarthy. So I just can't hop on a bandwagon for JJ McCarthy. I can't do it. Like I said, I would be disappointed if they drafted JJ McCarthy. I would be disappointed. I'd be like, hey, you have two guys that are clearly more talented than JJ McCarthy right now. And there's just no reason to take him. I would not take him at number 2. There's just no way. Bobby Scarver says should be a strong draft for this year. Definitely, yeah. I'm excited for Adam Peters to see what he can do, man. He's really good in the later rounds. I want to see him do it in the first couple rounds too. So I'm excited to see what Adam Peters has cooking up We got a lot of picks. We got a lot of ammo, so he can be very creative. He can even move up into the draft, move back, acquire draft picks for next year. But I think we should, try to attack this year as much as we can to get talent. Cornerback, man. Cornerback is huge, man. Like having a Maye Forbes and Ben St. Juste right now is your not penciled in starters, but yeah, I would say penciled in, not marker, not pen, but penciled in starters is concerning for me. If they're going to draft a corner, they met with Cam Hart, they met with a couple guys. They're definitely going to draft a cornerback for sure. We need corner help, like bad, really bad. Because the Maye Forbes, we'll see if he can improve under Joe Witt Jr., but like he was underwhelming last year. He couldn't tackle, couldn't really cover much. Gamble for interceptions. The DJ Moore game, he gave up like 300 yards to DJ Moore. AJ Brown gave up 300 yards, like 100 something to 200 yards to AJ Brown. It was just overmatched, just too small. And the guys were big boy and big body him. So, I mean, he played a little bit better in the second half of the year, and he didn't have the ball production that we expected to. I didn't expect him to come in and have like 6 interceptions like he did in college, but he just didn't have the ball production like we expected him to have coming in as a rookie. So it's growing pains, but and he's super confident. That's one thing too. His confidence kind of didn't like, I'm not gonna say it broke, but and he got benched too. Like Danny Johnson was playing over him, stuff like that. But to rely on him and Ben St. Juste had a down year too. Like he was getting cooked. The Seahawks game, he got cooked for the most part of the game. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, they was cooking him the whole game. So we got to get a corner here. Cornerback, left tackle, tight end. We got to get a tight end. Jatavion Sanders. I like Ben Sinnott. I like him. I like Theo Johnson. I like a couple tight ends that we can get, man. I like Jared Wiley too. There's a couple guys that I really like too at that tight end position. Roy Black says we should trade one of our seconds for Ayuk and reunite him with Jayden. I wouldn't mind that. You know, I mean, let's see what they traded Stephon Diggs for. I mean, Stephon Diggs, that wasn't really like a huge trade. It's not like they traded a first. So, I mean, like, I wouldn't be against it. I'm not banging on the table for Ayuk, but, you know, I think you should surround your young talent with as much. Yeah, you should surround your young quarterback with as much talent as you can. Especially having the luxury of him on a rookie quarterback, on a rookie contract, you know. So you look at what they're doing for Caleb Williams right now. Keenan Allen, they got DJ Moore. I mean, they have so much talent in that Bears offense. You know, Cole Kmet. So why not do the same for Jayden Daniels? You know, you look at what the Eagles did for Jalen Hurts. They traded for AJ Brown, drafted Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert are already on the roster. So why not load the team up with talent, especially while you have a quarterback on a rookie contract? I mean, that's the way to do it. Excuse me, to try to load up on talent for sure. CJ Stroud, traded for Stephon Diggs. I love when teams are aggressive. I love when teams are aggressive. You know, imagine a team with Terry, Jahan, and Ayuk. That's a nasty trio. It's a nasty trio. Zach Ertz at tight end, then you draft another tight end. That's a nasty trio. Then you get Eckler, B-Rob. So trading for Ayuk, I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm not banging on the table for it though. But like I said, I'm always for adding talent. I'm always for adding talent. Bobby Sharp said, what are the chances of us being rebranded? We'll see what happens with that. Why you stop doing the channel members live with OG and them? I'm gonna start back, guys. I'm gonna start back. Like I said, a lot of the live stream tonight was to announce kind of like things that are coming up, things that's been going on too. I'm definitely gonna get back into that. I'm definitely gonna get the live streams popping. Definitely gonna get this popping, live streams for myself. I'm definitely gonna get the elite guys back on, man. We're gonna do a lot of that coming up. My time is a little bit free more. Transitioning from Locked On Wizards, I still will be doing Wizards content, like I said, and I'm a media member now, so I'll be interviewing the players and stuff like that. I already put up a video of me interviewing some Wizards players, Denny Avdia, so I'll be posting some of that stuff to the channel as well. But live streams are gonna be back and popping, so a lot of that stuff. I'm gonna be on here a little bit more. I'm gonna definitely try to get on here a little bit more. Your ex-grandpappy, Pappy, my dog. Hey, let's go. We really can't go wrong as long as we don't trade out. Trusted talent evaluation. Yeah, I would not trade back. I'm not trading back. There's just too much talent, and you got to get the quarterback position. You got to get the quarterback position correct. We just haven't had a quarterback in years. We haven't had a franchise quarterback in years, and that's what this draft is about. This is what this season is about finding a franchise guy, finding a franchise quarterback. You can't be like Ron Rivera and just kick the can down the road and not attack the quarterback position in the draft. You can't You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to attack the position of the draft, and you have an opportunity to do that with either one of these guys, Jayden Daniels or Drake Maye. You have an opportunity with either one. Roy Black says we need an East-West back, like right in the 4th or the 5th. Lonnie Thomas says people keep saying he's RG3. Even RG said he's not him. There's some similarities, just the frame and the injury concern. Now, Jayden Daniels played in all the games except for the last game of the year. Let me make sure that's correct too, because I know he sat out the bowl game, but other than that, he played in every single game. So he's been able to stay healthy. Of course, it's different in the NFL, staying healthy than it is in college. But I mean, he doesn't have much of an injury history, so that's a good sign right there. That's certainly a positive that he hasn't got hurt in college. But I can see where people make the similarities, the comparisons. I mean, you see some of the hits. Some of the hits are just like, the video game where you see the coins just pop out, where he's just getting hit, like kind of like a cartoon. The old Miss game where the guy just piles drives him and just smacks him out of nowhere, hit sticks him. Which game is it? The Georgia game where some guy just picks him up like a rag doll and just holds him, and then they call the play dead, and he's just picked up, and then Jayden Daniels is just laughing about it. So yeah, he is. I'm not gonna call him small, but he's a lean guy. He's a lean guy. I know. He just did the show with Kevin Hart where he has the bird chest and he's a lean guy, and that's part of the reason why he's so fast too, because he's just a lean. He kind of looks like not a cross country runner, but just like a track kind of guy where he's just lean, and that's where the speed comes from, because he's a lean guy. He does need to put a little bit of weight on and bulk up, but that's a part of his game being so elusive and fast. So he just has to be able to protect himself. Some of the hits that he's taken have been a little concerning, and they do look video game like. They do look cartoonish. So in the NFL, you have the Haloti Nada hit that took RG3 out. You have guys just like his size that are just as fast or even faster, and that are going to be coming for him. So protecting himself is going to be huge. Sliding is going to be huge. All that stuff, just protecting himself, and that was some of RG3's downfall for sure. So I get the comparison. I get the concerns. I get all that, and he can have the electricity that RG3 had when RG3 had that 70-yard run against the Vikings. I can clearly see Jayden Daniels doing the same thing on a 3rd and 10, running up the field for a 75-yard touchdown. He's capable of doing that. We saw him do it against Florida, Texas A&M, other teams, numerous teams in the SEC. We've seen him do stuff like that. He's a game changer. Just like Dan Quinn said, he is a game changer. Not just with his legs, but with his arms too. With his arm too. All right. Daniel R. Andressi said, "What's good, brother Ed Dog? What's going on, man? What's up, man?" Daniel Hernandez says, "Ayuk update. No update as of yet. T. Higgins did request a trade. I highly doubt we make an offer for him, but you just never know. Like I said, I'm never against adding talent. But it's got to be worth it, of course. T. Higgins, I highly doubt he gets a first. Highly doubt a team trades a first-round pick for T. Higgins. But like I said, you look at the Eagles, how they helped Jalen Hurts develop with bringing in A.J. Brown. C.J. Stroud, they're bringing in Stephon Diggs. Caleb Williams, they brought in Keenan Allen. So you look at what they're doing with young quarterbacks and taking advantage of guys on favorable deals, rookie contracts. This is the time to be aggressive. They're going to be aggressive. This is the time to do it, though. You don't want to wait. You want to help develop your quarterback. You look at Jayden. He had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas in college. So, I mean, you might want to put him in a similar situation. I mean, you do have Jahan. You do have Terry, of course. You have talent already. But, I mean, you might want to take a look at Ayuk. You might want to take a look at T. Higgins. I'm not banging on it. Like I said, I'm not banging on the table for these guys. But it's something to consider for sure. Daniel said, "What quarterback would I like to see Washington draft?" I have Jayden above Drake, but like I said, I do like both. I think Drake is talented as well, but I do I do have Jayden above Drake. I do have Jayden above Drake Maye at this point right now. So yeah, it's just my allergies right now, but I should be good for tomorrow night. Chase and Bacon says, "You to go, Ed. Hope to meet you at the draft party." Yeah, I went to the draft party last year. I don't think I'm gonna be going this year. I'm gonna try my best to go. I had a blast, man. I had a blast at the draft party last year. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time, good vibes, good energy. The National Harbor, just a good energy all that. I had a blast. I had a blast here, getting on the Ferris wheel, doing all that, taking pictures, meeting a lot of you guys out there. I had a blast. I had a blast at the draft party. It's gonna be a lot of fun again this year. So I really hope I can make it out there. And then they're doing like a raffle or something. Like you had to enter your name to get autographs with the players this year. Last year was like a long line to meet and greet the players. So I'm not getting in a line just to do that. No, I'm good. I'm not sitting in an hour long line to meet the players. I'm good on that. Or meet the alumni. Daniel Hernandez says, what if the Bears shot the world? Yeah, that would be insane. That would be insane. Caleb Williams getting him a pick number 2. But we all know that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. John Mirano says, hope all is well. And who's your favorite tight end in this draft? I really like Jatavion Sanders, of course. He's a guy, but I really like Jared Wiley. And I like Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson's athletic, man. I like him. I like him after the catch for Penn State. I like him, man. He's athletic. He's got some yak ability to him. He's got some speed. He's got a little bit of pop to him. I like Theo Johnson out of Penn State. He might go in the 4th, maybe the 5th round. That's a guy that I really have my eye on. But I like Ben Sinnott too. He's got the production out of Kansas State. So there's some good guys that I like. I know it's not a sexy class. Excuse me, like it has been before in the past. But Jatavion Sanders, Ben Sinnott, Jared Wiley, Theo Johnson, guys like that. I like those guys. I like all of them. I don't mind either. But I do like Theo Johnson. I like him a lot. And I like Ben Sinnott a lot too. Those are the 2 guys that I really, really like. If we can't get Jatavion Sanders, then for me it's either Ben Sinnott or Theo Johnson. Those are the guys. And I wouldn't sleep on Jared Wiley either. I think he's a good tight end. So I'm excited for them to get a tight end. They got to get a tight end. I think Adam Peters knows how important that tight end position is. You know, having George Kittle, he brought in Zach Ertz, but I don't think it's enough. Cole Turner, can't really trust him. John Bates is a blocking tight end, so you just don't have a lot of talent at the position. You got to get some more talent up in there. Let me see here. Dynamic Dave, thank you for the donation. Used to want JD, but can't miss on Drake Maye, Herbert 2.0. Yeah, I can see the Herbert comparison. And Drake May's athletic too, man. I love his mobility. I love how he can move in the pocket. Like there's one player he moves around in the pocket to the side, he throws with his left hand, kind of like a Houdini type of touchdown pass. And he throws a touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone with his left hand. Like that's improvising. That's just heads up, smarts. Like I love stuff like that. When he can improvise under pressure, which is what Drake Maye can do. Jayden Daniels can do it too. There is a concern about the sack to pressure rate. I've seen a lot of people talk about that, where he takes a lot of sacks or he gets sacked. But there's a lot of times where he's getting out of the pocket and making moves and running downfield too. But Drake Maye, you know, throwing under pressure, I think he does a good job of that. Throwing the ball downfield, big throws, running for first downs. He had a 100-yard rushing game, and I love seeing that from Drake Maye. I love his mobility too. So. But yeah, I do see some of the Herbert comparisons. It's just the layups that he misses, the easy throws that he's missing, some of the bad decisions that he's making. But he's super talented, man. And Drake Maye, he does sound like he wants to be here. Like every time there's an interview, he kind of blushes about the Commanders. So like if they take Drake Maye, I'm on board with it. Like I'm on board with either one. There's valid reasons to take Drake Maye. There's valid reasons. There's valid concerns. Like he may have to sit a year or two, like a Jordan Love. We don't have the luxury to do that though. Like whatever quarterback we get, they're gonna have to play. We're not starting Mariota. It would be ridiculous to start Marcus Mariota. Like you're going 3-14, 4-13 with Mariota as your starter. It is what it is. And you're not gonna get the best out of Terry. You're not gonna get the best out of Jahan. You're just not. The offense is gonna be so limited with those guys. It's just gonna be. You're just not going to get the best out of those guys. It's going to be a limited offense, a lot of limitations. Used to want JD, but can't miss on. Yeah, like I said, I'm fine with either one, but I just think that the elite athleticism, the way he can change the game, the pressure he's going to put on the defense, the way you have the game plan for Jayden Daniels, if you can tailor your offense for him, I just think he can change the game. He's going to be really good. I think he's just super talented. So. That's my take on Jayden Daniels over Drake Maye. Carl Chavez says tomorrow's going to be epic. It is. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Like I said, it's a lot of argument, a lot of civil war going on between the two guys, between the fan base over the guys, over each quarterback. It's going to be a lot of fun. and just all the stuff coming out with Jayden Daniels having a preference and whatnot, the Top Golf, the drama, the dilemma, the agent, the PR person, like a lot of stuff has come out. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it could be a twist. It could be Drake Maye. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Drake Maye. To me, right now, I have it like 55%, like 60%, or like 50. I think 55%. I'm 55% betting. Sure, in my opinion, that is Jayden Daniels. But I would not be surprised if it's Drake Maye. Drake Maye. Every interview I've seen with Drake Maye talking about the Commanders, the Top Golf interview that he had, and then there was another interview he had where some guy was like, "Do you have an idea of where you're being drafted?" And Drake Maye said, "Yeah, I do." He like smiled about it. So that he could be saying that he's being drafted by the Patriots, that he knows that, or that he had a really, really good visit with Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and the guys. He showed out at the Top Golf event, and everything went really, really well. And they liked him from that standpoint. I could see that happening too. I really could. And you always want a guy that wants to be here. There's question marks with Jay Dale if he wants to be here. That's the red flag with me. You always want a guy that wants to be here. You always want a guy that wants to be here. If somebody doesn't want to be here, you don't want to force them to be here. You want guys that want to be here. Roy Black says, I like the comparison. Rio made he's like Deshaun Watson before the allegations. Yeah, I mean, a lot going on with Deshaun Watson for sure. Can't wait for the next collab with Lou, Rio, and Rico. Yes, sir. It will be coming for sure. Will be coming for sure after the draft. He said, KJ23 2000. I said, bro, you've been sick for like 2 months. Go get checked out, bro. It's allergies, honestly, man. I don't know what it is, but having kids, like, man, it's just so easy to get sick. But like I said, like, I'm feeling fine. Like, if I had to go out and play basketball or football, like, I would be 100% fine. It's just congestion right now. It's just allergies right now. But I don't want to be like this tomorrow. I want to be clear, not coughing, anything like that. I don't want to be like this for tomorrow. I want to be A-okay. So I'm definitely going to drink some tea and all that, and take a couple Claritins and stuff like that, so I can be prepared for tomorrow, because it's a big day tomorrow. It's a big day. So this is the dress rehearsal for tomorrow for sure. William Cooper, shout out to you, man, and then shout out to William Cooper. He says, hi, Ed, I love your show. Thank you, man. I appreciate that for sure. Thank you for watching and tuning in. William Cooper says it's going to be an upset pick. I hope not. I really hope not. I hope not. And for me, it wouldn't be like a Daniel Jones New York Giants reaction where they were booing and going crazy and stuff like that. Everybody was upset, trying to break their TV and have big reactions and stuff like that. I would just be disappointed, though. I'd be disappointed. I think it would be a mistake for Adam Peters to pass up on Jayden and Drake Maye for JJ McCarthy when they're just more talented. Honestly, I mean, you could argue that Michael Penix is honestly just as good as JJ or more talented. Honestly, I just don't think JJ is like an elite prospect in my opinion compared to other guys in the room. Just comparing him to Drake and Jayden, I just don't think he's as elite as those guys. I don't see the upside. And I know JJ is younger. He's young. He's a winner. He's a leader. He has the intangibles, all that good stuff. Jim Harbaugh said he's the best quarterback in the draft and all that good stuff. Of course, that's just him bigging up his guy. And he showed up under pressure, too, in big moments. Beating Alabama in the championship. Like, Jason McCarthy has showed up in some big times, in some big games. Like I said, the third down conversion rate, that's huge. That's good. He can throw on a run. He's had some tight window throws, but I just don't like that. His team always has the lead. They're always running the ball. Like, I'm just not a big fan. I want to see him in more high pressure situations as far as having to be down and come back. We've seen Jayden do that. We've seen Drake Maye do that. Kind of put the team on his back with lesser talent around him. So that's just my feeling on that. I don't see the elite plays that Jayden does. I don't see the elite plays that Drake does. I just don't see that from JJ McCarthy on it, because I just didn't see that at all. I didn't see that at all, personally. William Cooper says, just nothing, but thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to you, Will, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Rashad Collins says, outside of quarterback one, who's the player and you would love to see us walk away with at the end of the draft? I know this one is off for me. Of course, you could go with offensive tackles for sure, like guys like Tyler Guyton and Like I said, I like Ben Sinnott. I think he would be a good pick. Theo Johnson's very talented in my opinion. I like him a lot. I think just a low key guy that I like. Not really low key, but I think we do need another receiver. Xavier Legette is a guy to take a look at, but I know this pick is redundant. I like Jermaine Burton out of Alabama too. I think just looking at receivers, I think we're gonna get another receiver. I like Jermaine Burton out of Alabama. I like Xavier Worthy out of Texas. I think it's a guy we can look at. But I know some of these guys a lot of guys are slot receivers right now that are going to be available in this draft, like Ricky Pearsall from Florida. I think he's super talented, man. He's tough, man. He's shifty. He can make guys miss in the phone booth. He's just tough, man. He's looking for contact. You see the one-hand catch that he made over the middle against two people. I think he's super talented, man. The only thing is just that, is Jahan going to play in the slot? Jahan can play in the outside too, and we do need a lot of people say we need a bigger receiver, like a big target, but I do like guys that can create separation and make it easier for the quarterback, and big guys can make it easier for the quarterback too, but a guy who can really, really create separation, get open, and is a chain mover. Like I really do like Ricky Pearsall out of Florida, man. That's a guy that I like a lot, and maybe him in the third round or something like that. If he falls to the third round, I think that's a receiver that you add to the room. Even though we do kind of have like the Smurf smaller receiving core, like Ricky Pearsall, I just think the talent is just there, man. And like I said, Jermaine Burton out of Alabama, I like him too. He's super talented. He's just tough. He's just a mean guy. I like guys who play mean. And Jermaine Burton plays mean. And honestly, unfortunately, he's had some incidences, where he punched somebody on the field, stuff like that. But I like Jermaine Burton. Those are some of the guys that I like. Jermaine Burton, Pearsall, Lad McConkey. Those are some of the guys I would take a look at. Who are some other receivers that are out there that I really like too? Adonai Mitchell, I like him a lot too, but I just don't think I don't think we're gonna get him. I think he's gonna be a little too high for us. And not Malachi Corley, but there was somebody else who I was really looking at. Malik Washington out of Virginia, local guy. He's tough. He's really hard to bring down. That's a guy that I would take a look at for sure. But yeah, some of these receivers, man, they're really talented that I think we can add to the room, man, because Curtis is going, man. Curtis is going. After that, after Terry and Jahan, it's Diami and Alameda's Zacchaeus, and then what's my guy's name, number 86, who played really well in the Mitchell Tinsley and guys like that. I don't know who else I'm missing on the receiving. Casimir Allen's on the practice squad, most likely. But yeah, we need to add some juice. Just one more guy, either Legette, Worthy, not just because of the 40, but Worthy can do things too, man. He's not just like a John Ross. Like there's other things that he can do, man. He's got good hands, not scared to take a hit, deep threat. That would help out a young quarterback too. So I'm looking at some of these receivers too in the third round, like Jermaine Burton. I would be very, very happy with him. Him, Worthy, Legette, Pearsall, man. I like Pearsall a lot. That's a guy that, and Troy Franklin out of Oregon, man. He's ridiculous. Like he's an explosive player too. Like so, there's some receivers, man, that I would like outside of the quarterback position, that I would definitely take a look at for sure. Definitely take a look at. But we need a corner too. We need a corner. Nate Wiggins is a first round talent, so I don't think we'll get him. But if we could get Nate Wiggins, that would be huge out of Clemson because we need a cornerback. We're going to draft a corner too. Edge rusher is something to take a look at too, for sure. We definitely need an edge rusher. I know Chop Robinson, he's a local guy, but we'll see. More of a speed rusher. I don't know if we'll get him in the first round. Robinson out of Mizzou, I think he would be a great pickup at edge rusher because we definitely need more edge rushers. I know we picked up a couple guys. We picked up the guys from the Cowboys, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, and then Cleveland Farrell. But you can always add some more pop, some more explosiveness at the edge rusher position, a young talent in here that we can bring in and develop. So there's definitely a lot of guys outside of quarterback that I'm definitely taking a look at. You can name 5, 6 offensive tackles too, for sure, outside the quarterback position. But the sexy position for me is like I said, either between the guys and my preference that I like is Jermaine Burton and Ricky Pearsall. Those are the two guys that I like. And then Worthy, Adonai Mitchell, that would just be awesome if we could get him. But I don't think we're going to be able to get him as well. Let's see, 50% pain. If JD needs advice on how to put on weight, I can help him out. Yeah, I mean, he can come to DC, eat a couple steaks. I mean, you got Fogo de Chao, you got DC Prime, you got a lot of places where he can go out to eat. Ben's Chili Bowl, you got a lot of places he can go out to eat for sure in DC where he can bulk up and gain some weight. for sure and get that weight room. So they're gonna get him on a weight program. Of course, we talked about the same thing with Emmanuel Forbes. He's gained a little bit of weight, not much. He's still pretty lean looking in some of those pictures that I saw for the off season workouts that they had. He still kind of looks like a cross country worker. He looks pretty thin still. So they definitely need to get JD on. I mean, he doesn't need to bulk up, but just put on some muscle, because you got to be ready to take these hits because it's not going to be all peachy and creamy like it was at LSU. Like these guys are faster, stronger, bigger in the league. So it is going to be tougher for sure. Let's see here. Shout out to Dante Walker. He says we're getting JD for sure. Then go grab Sims at offensive tackle. I do like Armarius Mims from Georgia. If we could get him, he might be a little too rich for us though. But like I said, I really would like to trade up into the first round. Armarius Mims, he would be a great player. He hasn't had a lot of snaps. That's the only thing. He doesn't have a lot of experience, but the talent is there. I can see that Jordan Morgan is a name that's been popping up. Tyler Guyton, basically all the tackles. Brandon Coleman out of TCU has been a popular name the last couple weeks too. All right, I'll probably read like one or two more, then I'll probably wrap it up. There's a lot of comments I got to get to. Hold on. There's a lot of comments I got to get to. Hold on 1 second. I'm just laughing at this comment. Rufio says Forbes sucks. I wouldn't go that far, but he had one of the worst rookie seasons I've seen in a long time. He had one of the worst rookie seasons that I've seen in a very long time. I mean, the DJ Moore game. I was at that game. Shout out to my guy Brandon. I went to that Bears game and he was getting cooked every play, and a lot of it was just anticipation. Like he was whiffing, he was trying to go for interceptions, wasn't tackling well. So a lot of it kind of wasn't even just skill. It was just some of it just looked like effort, and that's the most concerning thing. I'm not gonna say he didn't have any effort, but it was just like mental mistakes that he was making. Like I was like, bro, like why are you going for an interception? And we made Justin Fields look like an all-pro quarterback. That was I actually like Justin Fields. But to make him look like an all-pro quarterback, like that was Justin Fields' best game ever as a pro. Like, and that was probably DJ Moore's best game ever as a pro. That was a career night for those guys. A career night for Cole Kmet as well. Career night for everybody on the Bears. It really was. It looked like NFL. Like it was like an NFL a Pro Bowl game. It looked like it was flag football. Like he wasn't being touched. Anything. He's just getting a comeback route, a curl route, and then he would scamper up the field for like 50 yards for a touchdown. It was ridiculous. It was hard to watch, and I was there in person. Rufio also says, "Yeah, we pillaged the Cowboys' defensive line. We basically did. Yeah, we took their whole offensive line. We took their whole offensive line. I missed a couple comments here. I got to go back up. Let me see here. Shout out to William Cooper again for the $2 donation. Shout out to William, man. I appreciate you, man. That's big time. I appreciate it. Shout out to you for the $2 donation here. Tez Walker is a dog too. Excuse me. I do like Tez Walker. Malachi Corley is a guy that I've been looking at. He's a little interesting. I do like him too. He's a little interesting. Brendan Rice. I forgot to say him. Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son from USC. I think he's a guy, another USC receiver that's going to be a little slept on, kind of like Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I think Brendan Rice is a guy that he's going to make some noise in the league. Like I think he's going to be really, really good in the league. I think he's going to, before it's all said and done, he's going to have 1,000-yard season. I think he's going to have 1,000-yard season in the league. I think he will. Tez Walker from North Carolina. I'm not going to compare him to Diami or any of the wide receivers that came out of Carolina before, but he's super talented. He's a good deep threat for sure. Van Guardian said, "Don't sleep on Penix." I actually like Penix. I do like Penix. Penix is talented, man. And like I said, they asked him to do more than Jason McCarthy. And he was throwing the ball like he was getting the ball to his receivers in tight windows, making plays. Like I like Penny. He just doesn't have any mobility. The knee injuries is a concern. The championship game is a little bit of a concern too, where he threw an interception. One guy was wide open. He just threw an interception. So he looked a little rattled in the championship game. But other than that, Penix had a really good senior year. And he wasn't too bad with Indiana. He had a couple good years, but I like Penix, man. I think he's gonna have the luxury. He's gonna have the luxury where he's gonna be able to sit and develop, and then he'll get an opportunity later on, and that may really work out in Penix's favor. I think that's gonna really go well for him. I wouldn't take him at pick number 2, but I do like Penix, man. I think he his arm talent, man. And they dropped him back a lot and asked him to throw the football a lot and not just easy layups. Like he was making throws down the field, tight window throws. Like he was making plays and he didn't use his legs much. He would move around the pocket a little bit, but he's not scrambling. Like that's just not him. He's not doing that. He just doesn't have the mobility or the legs to do that. But Penix is talented, man. I actually like Penix. I do like Penix. I just wouldn't take him with the second pick of the draft. I think there's something there with him. I really do. Bo Nix, he's just a little erratic for me. A little up and down. Some of the throws are concerning, but of course, he had a lot of layups with Oregon. Oregon just had a lot of talent around him, so I'm not going to take anything away from him either. But Auburn struggled a lot, got better at Oregon. Jayden Daniels, kind of not going to say similar, but Bo Nix got better with his time at Oregon. Like he certainly improved, but they threw a lot of short passes, a lot of one read stuff with Bo Nix. So I'm not really high on Bo Nix, but I think he has an opportunity to be solid too because he's gonna be able to sit. He's not gonna be thrown into the fire immediately like Jayden and Drake are here. So he's gonna be able to hold a clipboard for about a year, maybe even 2 years, and then come back. Let's see what he's got. Same thing with Jordan Love. Jordan Love got to sit for a couple of years. Bo Nix is gonna be able to sit. Penix is gonna be able to sit. They're not gonna be asked to come in and play right now. But I do like Penix. I'm a fan of his game. Too many good wide receivers in this draft to pay IU. Yeah, like I said, I named a couple guys. Pearsall, McConkey, Burton. I love the fire that he plays with. He's I'm not gonna say he just plays hard. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna talk about some of the incidents that he's had, but he's talented. Johnny Wilson, the tall receiver out of Florida State, too many drops for me, and I just don't know if he's gonna be able to separate. Same thing with Keon Coleman. A little bit of concerns about him getting separation. Roman Wilson out of Michigan, he's strictly a slot guy. He's fine, he's solid, but it would be a little redundant with what we have here. So that's why I'm not super high on Roman Wilson, but he's talented. And then the other guys, I'm gonna say like Brian Thomas is just a little too high for us. Adonai Mitchell's is a little too high for us. We're not gonna have a chance with those guys. But the realistic guys like Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Polk, Leggett, Corley, Xavier Worthy, Jermaine Burton, and guys like that. Brendan Rice. I have him a little bit higher than some other guys that are in the draft. I really like Brendan Rice a lot. Those are some guys that I'm definitely taking a look at for sure at the wide receiver position, probably in the 3rd round, probably in the 4th round, guys like that. That's most likely what we're going to get. Shout out to Tim Farrell, man. Shout out to him, man. What's up, man? He says best tight end available with pick number 2, I guess Brock Bowers, but we're not picking him at are you talking about the 2nd round? Second round, Jatavion Sanders. I do like Sanat. I do like him. I talked about Jared Wiley. I like those guys. Theo Johnson, probably not in the 2nd round, but I do like Theo Johnson. Like if you can get him in the 3rd or 4th round, I'm running to the podium to get Theo Johnson out of Penn State. I like him a lot because he has some yak ability. A lot of guys don't have yak ability. He's athletic, man. I like him. He's got good hands too. All right. Let's see here. Kevin on Zora says I wouldn't be mad if they went Penix, Bo Nix, or JJ McCarthy. I don't like Drake Maye. I would not want them to get Penix with pick number 2. You have to trade back to get those guys. And even those guys aren't a shoe. Like the Giants reportedly have interest in JJ McCarthy. The Giants reportedly have interest in Penix. Like the Vikings are there too. So either one of those teams, the Raiders, like either of those teams, man, they definitely may get Penix. They may get Bo Nix. JJ might be gone. The Vikings might get JJ. We'll see what happens with that. So, but Penix, yeah. So they all these guys really might go in the 1st round. There's a high possibility all these guys are going to go. I mean, clearly, of course, Drake and Jayden are going to go in the first. I think JJ's going to first too, and then Penix. I think he's going to go in the first too. I think Bo Nix as well, or Bo Nix might be in the second, but I think everybody else is going to go in the first round for sure. Let's see here. Neighbors is a dog and Harrison Jr., but yeah, we're not getting those guys. That would be hilarious if somehow we got them, but there's just no possible way. It's just no way. Ricky Pearsall played with Jayden at Arizona State before he transferred. Yeah, Pearsall's a dog, man. So there's a lot of connections with Jayden for sure. Jayden with Ayuk. It's crazy because Jayden was at Arizona State. Jayden, that's the thing with college. Like guys are playing college football like 6 or 7 years now. It's just ridiculous how things are set up. But guys are just playing college football for so long. It's just. I'm not gonna say it's ridiculous, but yeah, it's just guys are in playing college football for so long. They're staying out because the NIL and the COVID year and all that. These guys are just in college forever. So that's a good call. That's a good call, Kenny. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know. Yeah, Pearsall went to Arizona State for a couple of years, 3 years. He had 48 catches, 580 yards, and 6 touchdowns. I'm sorry, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown in 2021. So he has that ability too. You can do some jet sweeps. You can use them differently, versatile, positional flex a little bit with Ricky Pearsall. So I like that too. You can add another weapon to your offense. And then that last year with Florida, he had 965 yards and 4 touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. So every year he's had a rushing touchdown. Every year. So he's definitely gonna, if we get him, he'll definitely add to the offense. But like I said, it's just the redundancy with what we already have. You know, Jahan is what, 5'10", 6 feet, if that. Terry's 6 feet, if Terry's about 6 feet. So it's kind of like you kind of want to get a bigger receiver, you want to get a bigger target, but I don't really care if the guy can get open and separate and get open. That's all that really matters to me. If he can move the chains, get a first down, that's all that really matters to me. And I want to see Jahan Dotson using the red zone again because he was really good in the red zone his rookie year. Like he was a touchdown machine. Let's see here. I'll probably read 1 or 2 more. Let me get to some of these comments at the bottom here. And then we'll probably wrap it up for tonight because tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun. Andrew Shaw says birthday tomorrow. I need a great gift from Washington tomorrow. Yes, sir. You gotta have a good B-day tomorrow, man. They gotta do it right for you, man. They gotta make it a good day for you for sure. Happy birthday. And enjoy your day, man. That's crazy to have your birthday on the same day as the draft. So that's going to be a lot of fun for sure. I don't think I said in my podcast that tight end may not go in round 1. Are you talking about Sanders or are you talking about – I mean, Brock Bowers is going round 1, but other than that, I mean, you might not see a tight end really get into the second round after Brock Bowers. I mean, you just might not see another one go until the second round after Brock Bowers. And this tight end class is it's solid, but it's just not. You don't see a lot of Dalton Kincaid, guys like that. I wanted Dalton Kincaid last year, and he looks really good. Dalton Kincaid, T.J. Hawkinson, guys like that. You don't really see that this year. Brock Bowers is talented though. Uptown Dre, what's up, man? What's going on, man? Shout out to Uptown Dre. What's up, man? He says, Blake, sophomore, Paul Jr. are the guys I like. Could we draft 2 of these guys? I gotta work on pronouncing his name. I really do. I gotta work on pronouncing his name. Fuaga as well. Fuaga is a name that I've gotten down. Olush Fashanu, I've gotten his name down. We're not getting him, but I've gotten his name down for sure. Just the pronouncing of his name. Like Tylees Fuaga, Troy Fountainu, Olu Fashanu. Fashanu's from DC too. I think he went to Gonzaga. But yeah, guys like that, like the tackle out of Yale, Amagadaje. I gotta work on pronouncing his name just in case we draft him. Kingsley Sama Atuai from BYU. I'm butchering these guys' names. Even Roger Rosengarten, that's somewhat of a tongue twister right there too. So definitely some unique names for sure. So I got to learn them and be able to pronounce them. I still can't pronounce Giannis's last name. It's been years and years, but I just can't really pronounce it properly. But besides that, yes, there is a lot of talent there at the tackle class. If they don't trade up, you still got some good guys. Blake Fisher, Patrick Paul out of Houston. So yeah, I mean, there's some talent there for sure. Jordan Morgan, Tyler Guyton. I mean, there's some talent there for sure. So you just got to develop these guys. Second round guys, third round guys. Most likely they're going to draft a tackle in the second round. You got to come away with a tackle in the second round. They didn't do enough in free agency to just not get a guy in the second round. Ben Lampkin said, "How about pronouncing Cliff Kingsbury?" I did. That was a little bit of a tongue twister for me when we first hired him. I did struggle a little bit with his name. I did. That was hilarious. I forgot about that. I really did. I forgot about that. Yeah, Keon Coleman. The only thing for me is just separation. That's the only thing is separation. A little bit of drops here and there. That's my only concern with Keon Coleman. But man, he is talented. And he definitely would give us some size at the receiver position that we don't have right now. But I wouldn't be mad at Keon Coleman. But like I said, I really like Ricky Pearson. I like Burton. I like Jermaine Burton too, man. I like him. I like Brendan Rice too. Like if they wait until the fourth to get Brendan Rice, I would love that. I would love that out of USC. I like him a lot. He's talented. He's got some yak ability too. He's tough. He can go up there and get the football too. Keon Coleman's talented though. I like him. I do like him too. But I think there's a couple other guys that I may consider taking over Keon Coleman at this point though. But like I said, I wouldn't be mad at that. I don't think you go wrong with Keon Coleman. Johnny Wilson, yeah, I like him. He is tall as crap, so he would be a red zone threat for sure. We had to use him as a red zone threat. We haven't really used Cole Turner as a red zone threat, which is disappointing. A 6'7" guy. It's just like, why not use him in the red zone every time, or at least once in a while? So that would be something with Johnny Wilson. He drops the ball too. So there's sometimes he has alligator arms. So that's my concern with Johnny Wilson a little bit. But excuse me, the talent's there. Let's see here. Shout out to Big E Steve. That's my guy. Uptown Drake says, Big E says, no EB, our offensive line might be better, not so predictable. Yeah, I mean, you can see that, but just you gotta get the guys in here. You just gotta get more talent in here too. It's not just EB. You gotta get some more talent in here. I mean, Cornelius Lucas is kind of like your if the season started today, he would be your starting left tackle. And that's just not good enough. He's a swing tackle. That's just what he is. He's a swing tackle. Andrew Wiley, once again, your right tackle, your starting right tackle. So that's concerning. You saw how he did last year. Protected Sam Howell, wasn't great. You look at the Cardinals game, some guy did a spin move on him and got to the quarterback. The Bills game, same thing, spin move, cooked Andrew Wiley. So, excuse me, there's a lot of times where Andrew Wiley just, he couldn't hold up. I think towards the end of the year, Andrew Wiley did a little bit better in the second half. Some of the sacks were on Sam just holding the football too long and just EB dropping him back so much. EB didn't do it. Bieniemy didn't do him any favors. And then Eric Bieniemy the other day got asked a question about the Commanders. Got a little salty about it with UCLA. He's at UCLA now as an assistant coach. It's kind of not going to say crazy, but he's not even in the NFL anymore. So that's kind of how far he's fallen. He went from being with a Super Bowl team to coming here, and now an NFL team doesn't even sign him or hire him. He's an assistant with UCLA, not even the head coach with UCLA, but an assistant, a coordinator. So it's kind of unfortunate how he took that chance, didn't work out. Now you got to coach with college as an assistant. But the offensive line, just because EB is going, does not mean that. To me, you could say Cliff Kingsbury if they can dial stuff up and tailor to Jayden Daniels' strengths or Drake Maye's strengths. To me, if they tailor to Jayden Daniels' strengths, like RPO, zone reads, different stuff like that, getting him on the move, using his legs, putting that pressure on the defense, making him as using him as a running threat, where they got to account for him as a runner as well, not just a passer. But it's like you got to account for Eckler, you got to account for B-Rob. It's like, dang, this guy Jayden Daniels can tuck and run for about 30 yards too. That can be scary for defenses too, and that can make it easier for the offensive line too when you're not predictable. So you are right about that, Biggie. You are right about that. So if they can do stuff like that, they certainly can help out the offensive line and help out your young quarterback as well. Shout out to Biggie Steve. I guess we'll wrap up with this one. Biggie Steve says, do you see us picking a quarterback in the later rounds? I like Tucker Violau. I can see the guy out of Tennessee. What is his name, man? He had a solid pro day because he could throw the ball so far. A lot of people were enamored with him. But yeah, I could see somebody like that out of Tennessee. I could see him. And Jordan Travis out of Florida State. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL. I did like him. Joe Milton is actually in the draft too, and I would not pick him. He is a dual threat quarterback, but I definitely wouldn't pick him at all. Sam Hartman, I actually like Sam Hartman. I do like Sam Hartman out of Notre Dame. I remember one time Sam Hartman was like projected to go really high. Like he was projected almost to be like a first round pick at one time. And I remember that. And he kind of fell off. Talia Tagovailoa, he was at the Maryland. He was at the local pro day. He was at the Commanders pro day. And there was something where, like, I remember he wanted to go back to college. They denied his request to go back to college and transfer. He was in the transfer portal. They denied that. I don't like how he left Maryland, but it is what it is on that. And it was some scout that said he didn't do well. It was either some pro day or combine, like he just didn't do well. But Tally is a frail guy too. Like we talk about how Jayden Daniels is kind of, I'm not gonna say frail, but a lean guy. Like Talia is a lean guy too, but Talia is not relying like how kind of Jayden relies on his legs to be a big part of his game, or just like a huge separator from everybody else. But Talia Tagovailoa, I did like Talia. He had a couple good games. I did like Talia. Talia in the 7th round, or undrafted Talia. But you already have Mariota. They have Jeff Driscoll. I don't think they're really going to draft a quarterback because they already have a lot of guys in the room. Jake Fromm still on the roster, so I don't see them really drafting another quarterback. They could, but I don't see them drafting another quarterback. I see them doing a UDFA. I think they go the UDFA route at the quarterback position if they get another guy. I think that's the way. Talia, Joe Milton, no, they're not going to bring Joe Milton. Sam Hartman, though. Sam Hartman is a guy. Hartman is a guy. If he falls to the UDFA range, then I'm taking Sam Hartman. That's a guy who I'm taking. I actually like Sam Hartman a little bit. He's mobile too. He can be somewhat of a dual threat quarterback as well. So I like him because a lot of teams had him like in the at least going in the 3rd round at one point. Like there definitely was a time when he was with Wake Forest, a lot of scouts were high on him. Let's see how he did at Notre Dame. Like Wake Forest, he was putting up crazy 38 touchdowns, 12 picks. I don't want to scout the touchdown interception ratio because we've been burned by that before by quarterbacks who have like a lot of touchdowns and a little bit of interceptions and stuff like that. But Sam Hartman, 38 touchdowns, 12 picks, 39 touchdowns, 14 picks in 2021. So Sam Hartman as a UDFA, I'm on board for that. I'm on board for that. Notre Dame, that last year he had 24 touchdowns, 8 picks, 2,689 passing yards. So his numbers went down at Notre Dame. But I think if he would have stayed at Wake Forest, he probably would have been like a top at least in the 5th round. All right. Joe Milton. You said Milton out of Tennessee. Yeah, he just has a big arm, man. He has a big arm. He has a cannon. And I think teams are going to take a look at that. He might be a UDFA. He might be a UDFA, honestly. Or no, he I think he's going to get drafted probably 6th or 7th round. If not, then yeah, obviously he'd be a UDFA. Caden Slovis is a name that's just been floated out there so many times. He's been under the radar. Not under the radar. He's been with USC, UDFA kind of guy, possibly. Maybe you want to take a flyer on him as a UDFA. So those are just some of the quarterbacks to take a look at as UDFAs or 6th, 7th round kind of guys. You know. Let's see here. But yeah, that was a good question. So just to take a look at some of the UDFAs. Let's see here. Shout out to Brandon Scott. That's my guy, man. That's my guy. We're gonna do an elite channel member stream. Brandon Scott, shout out to him. He's doing Locked On Wizards. Make sure you guys subscribe to him on there. Washington Maniacs. Make sure you guys check him out on there. Great guy for sure. Great guy. We're gonna be on Bleacher Report together on May 12th and May 14th, talking Washington Wizards lottery. So we got a lot of good things coming up. And he's killing it with Locked On Wizards right now. We're both credentialed media members for the Wizards. So he's going to be doing a lot of draft content with the Wizards. I'm going to try to go up there with him to interview some of the draft prospects and interview some of the coaches and the GM for the Wizards and stuff like that to give you guys some Washington Wizards insight. And yeah, I mean, the Maniacs too. So check them out on there. So a lot of good things going for my guy, Brandon. A lot of things going. Brandon did get a haircut. Haven't seen his hair in a little while. I know he had a nice low cut. Shout out to my guy, Brandon. No, that's my guy. That's my guy. Excuse me. Attender said these two jokes play on team for the next deal. If not, adios, amigo, Davis and Phil. Excuse me, Cody S. running back out of Missouri led the nation and believe Russia, and I talked about it. Yeah, definitely. Running back is what we may take in the 5th or 6th round. Running back's not a big need with B-Rob, Eckler, and you got Chris Rodriguez. I do think we do still need like a young speed back. Chris Thompson light, J.D. McKissick light. That's the kind of running back that I'm looking for in the later rounds. That's the kind of guy I'm looking for. But if you want to just add talent to the running back room, I don't mind that either. But you kind of got some horses there. You got some horses there. Eckler is at the last leg of his career or the last act. So I'm not going to get too hyped about Austin Eckler. But yeah, I mean, adding talent at the running back position, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. So yeah, Cody yes has been slept on for sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Get some shut eye. Get ready for Christmas. I mean, get ready for the draft tomorrow, as it is draft eve. Should be a lot of fun for sure. Ben, no, do not trade back. Oh, no. You mean trade back into the first round? Yes. I don't know about excuse me, for a receiver, because we need a tackle. If we trade up to get an edge, I won't be disappointed, but I'd rather get a tackle. Maybe they do get an edge. Maybe they do get chopped. Somebody like that. Robinson out of Missouri. Traded to get a wide receiver. I do like Adonai Mitchell. Maybe he can be gotten in the 2nd round, but I like Adonai Mitchell a lot out of Texas, man. He creates separation. He's a route technician. Now, he did say in an interview that he kind of goes half speed running those routes. That's not a good thing. Doesn't really block well or looks disinterested in blocking, but Adonai Mitchell is talented. Talented, man. That's talent right there, man. And he would kind of add a different dynamic to the team. He's not like super tall like Leggett. And Leggett, how tall is Leggett actually? Let me look that up real quick. Xavier Leggett, he is 6'1", so it's not even like Leggett is like 6'4" or anything. He's just a big body, and our receivers like Terry is lean, and Jahan is lean, kind of like Smurfs. They're not Smurfs, but they're just lean guys. And Xavier will add some more physicality to the roster. Terry's super physical too. Don't get me wrong, but Xavier Leggett would definitely add just that big body aspect of receiver, just a big body guy, bodying guys, kind of bullying guys a little bit. And a lot of people comparing to like Debo Samuel, AJ Brown. You just give them the ball in space, let them run and break tackles and whatnot. So that's what you could do with Xavier Leggett. Give him some of those 50-50 chances as well. So Xavier Leggett, he had some drop concerns early in his career, his college career. He's kind of a late bloomer too. A lot of people talk about Jayden being a late bloomer, but Xavier Leggett is definitely a late bloomer as well. But I do like Leggett. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Shout out Reggie Reg. Happy birthday to him too, man. And a lot of birthdays this month. A lot of birthdays this week for sure. I think the sign is like Aquarius or something like that. So I've seen a lot of birthdays on the TL on the timeline for sure. So, all right, guys, shout out to you guys, man. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Celtic Commanders, man. It should be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a war room. It's already been a civil war. Jayden Daniels with a lot of smoke. There's a lot of fire, whether he wants to be here or not. The agent thing, the PR thing, the Top Golf. I mean, I could go on and on and on about all the things that have been said. Of course, the whole Mike Florio statement. Mike Florio, he just doesn't like the Commanders, so of course he's been trying to come up with as many negative things as possible as he can say. And Adam Schefter saying you can buy your Jayden Daniels jerseys, and then he walks back the statement on Pat McAfee. He's kind of trying to walk it back a little bit. He said it on Trap or Die. Shout out to those guys over there on Trap or Die podcast. He said buy your Jayden Daniels commercials, then he jerseys. He kind of tried to walk back that statement on the Pat McAfee show. But Adam Schefter said he leaves Jayden Daniels. John Keim said he leaves Jayden Daniels. Albert Breer says he leads leading Jayden Daniels. So most of the big time beat reporters, ESPN, all the major networks, they're leaning to Jayden Daniels, and I think it kind of shows. Now they have been wrong. They have been wrong. Adam Schefter said the Niners would draft Mac Jones. They ended up drafting Trey Lance. So just because they said it doesn't mean it's always right. I'm going to just say that. A lot of people said Ben Johnson. Adam Schefter, though, he did say Ben Johnson wasn't a lock. So Adam Schefter has kind of been more right than wrong for the most part. So when he says something, you got to listen to him. But John Conley kind of got to take their word for what it is. And they kind of been more right than wrong. So I do that. That's part of the reason why I'm leading Jayden. And then just Dan Quinn saying he's a game changer. And I just think Jayden Daniels is the better player. I just think he is. I just think he has the higher upside. He's more electric. He's just more of a big playmaker. He's more of a game changer. It's just hard. He's harder to game plan for. There's just a lot of things. His talent. There's just things that you can't teach that he does, and he just has that. I think he just has that over Drake. You know, the way he can change the game, the way he can scamper up the field and make plays, the mechanics, his consistent mechanics, his throwing motion is more consistent in my opinion. And just throwing the ball, dropping it in the bucket downfield. So I just think Jayden Daniels, I think his ceiling is higher. And yes, I do think he would be more ready now. You don't want to just base it on who's going to be ready today. You do want to base it and project it on who's going to be ready more long term. Drake Maye might be better more long term, but right now I just see Drake Maye kind of coming out and struggling a little bit off the gate, off the rip. That's just my opinion on that. So, all right, you guys, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. It's a huge day tomorrow, man. It's a huge day, big day for Adam Peters, big day for the fan base. All right, you guys, Health Commanders. Peace.